Welcome to another episode of Healing the Child Within. I am your show host, Nancy Muller, and today we're going to talk about romance. Specifically, this message today, it's all about stop looking for love in all the wrong places. So if this is something that resonates with you, somehow the topic called into your awareness, otherwise you wouldn't be looking at this video and joining me live or watching the replay. So, okay, let's get started. Let's get right into this romance. First of all, what does romance mean to you? I think when someone talks about romance, it can either be a verb or a noun. Yes. It can also be a feeling. Yes. I feel romantic. I feel that romance is all around me. I want romance in my life. But again, as I state in every episode, let's get very clear on your definition of romance. What does romance mean to you? Because if you were raised in an era of, or just, in an atmosphere of romance novels and romantic movies, and, the hero always comes riding in on a white horse. Most of us grew up with fairy tales, and the heroine in the movie, she gets swept away by the hero in the movie. He comes riding in on his big white horse, and you just feel like, oh, this is so great. He's just going to take me in his arms, and everything is going to be perfect from now on. And, it's interesting because I have a friend, she's a singer, and one time I heard her speaking at an event, and she created a song about Cinderella, and it's specifically titled Cinderella After the Ball, or After the Wedding. And it was interesting because the lyrics, it said something like, she's got everything she wants now, she's got her prince, she's got this big castle, but she's bored. She's bored. And think about that, like every fairy tale movie you've ever seen, what does the, I don't know what you call her, it's like not that really the heroine, but the main character, the female character in the movie, she's got a sad sack life or something's going on, and, she wants out of this doldrum. But here's the thing, whatever she's living in at the moment, this is life, you guys. This is life. So if you are waiting for romance, if you are out there saying, I just know the right man or woman's got to come along. It's just got to happen. My life is so empty without this. When am I going to find my perfect person? When am I going to find my soulmate? Again, it's very important to be very clear on what you mean by all these words that you're choosing around your understanding of romance. Because if your understanding of romance is that someone's going to come in and save the day or save you, or make it so that you never have to work another day in your life, or whatever it is, or that you're going to be fulfilled. A lot of people say, well, I want to be fulfilled. But here's the thing. Another person cannot give you what you are unwilling to give yourself. So if your idea of life, if this thing that you're putting your life on hold for is romance, like, I want someone to send me flowers. I want someone to send me chocolates. I want someone to take me away for the weekend. I want whatever it is that romance means to you. And I don't know, maybe your idea of romance is, whoa, I want that deal or that spreadsheet to grow, or, whatever. It might be something like that. But it's very important to get clear on what your understanding of romance is. And again, my favorite tool, the mind map. put a circle in the middle of the paper and write romance in that circle, and draw some lines with circles at the end of those lines, and just keep going, and put down what you believe romance is. What are your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and emotions about romance? And you will begin to see what it is that you're truly yearning for. Because we often will often have an idea in our mind, like life should be X, and until it's X, I'm not going to be fulfilled, or I'm not going to be happy, or I'm not going to be whatever it is that you think you're not going to be. So it's interesting as you drill down and start to do this work, when you say, oh, all right, let's just take a look at this. My idea of romance is all about, I don't know, having love in my life, having someone be kind and gentle to me. You know, if you read my book, Healing the Child Within, my mom shares part of her story in that book. And she grew up on a farm, never left the farm. She was very isolated. And so when she was in high school and she could get her hands on a Hollywood news magazine, she would just devour these magazines. And so she would watch these movie stars, and she would think, oh, this is life. This is what's, you know, going to make me happy. Someone's going to take me away, or someone's going to love me like Cary Grant loves Audrey Hepburn. Or so, you know, we begin to create beliefs. Remember, all of our beliefs that we are making choices on as an adult started somewhere in our childhood, between the ages of birth to about 8 to 13 years of age. So when you consider that, and then you realize, okay, I believe that romance means someone's got to take me away from all this. Someone's got to, I don't know, take care of me financially. Someone's got to, whatever it is. What is your idea of romance? And you know, what's interesting is when you start to do this, this work on the word romance, it kind of tears things down for you. And that's no fun sometimes, right? Because you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, I wanted to be like my romance novels where, you know, the shirtless man walks into the room and just takes me away and takes my breath away. And you get so caught up in that you don't stop to realize that you are being put in a feeling, not an experience. And there's a big difference there. I mean, whatever you're experiencing, you have feelings around what you experienced. You have feelings around the memories that you have around something that you experienced in your past. But when you read these novels or when you watch these movies, they begin to be the same all the time, aren't they? Girls in trouble, girl meets boy, boy saves girl, they live happily ever after. So if this is your idea of romance and you're thinking, I want love in my life, I want more love, I want my own special someone. Well, if this is your idea of this, is that you see yourself as that person who is maybe struggling or having challenges or being without. So struggle, challenge, being without, those are all indications of lack. And whenever you are feeling lack on any level, what happens is that you create a feeling of not enough, of lack, of missing something. And then when you get really steeped in that and you allow your thoughts to think about that over and over and over, you see what you're doing is you're creating that vibration, that energy, and you're putting that out into the universe. And basically what you're telling the universe, remember, everything is energy. You're telling the universe, I want to be alone. I want to be a sad sack. I want to be feeling like nobody cares. You're telling the universe that this is what you want more of. Now, you might be listening to this video and saying, Are you crazy? That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not what I want. But think about this for a minute. This is why I always encourage you to pay attention to what feels the most resistant to you in any message that I share. So, because wherever you feel resistance, that's what your higher self, your inner self, your higher being, whatever you call it, the universe, is giving you an opportunity to work on, to bring you back to love, to bring you back to love of self. Your love of self, self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-image. It all stems from how you're feeling. So if you feel like, this is just a horrible, rotten, no good life, and I'm going to go out in the garden and eat worms, and I don't know, I just don't see this ever changing. Do you see what this feels like? As opposed to, all right, I might not know all the answers, but I have been doing some work. I've been doing some research, whatever. I've been Googling and I've been watching YouTube. I've been, just learning and watching these people, and there are happy people on this earth, and they say that it is possible. So now I have a choice, right? Life is all about choices. You have a choice. You can begin each day with your J-O-B. Remember, that's your jump out of bed. What is your jump out of bed? You jump out of bed every morning and say, woohoo, today's going to be a fabulous day. Or do you kind of lay there and hit the snooze button, like, well, I don't know what's going to go on today, and I don't know, and you feel like maybe today is going to be another experience like yesterday, and you're not happy, and you don't know why you're not happy. And then you say, well, I don't have any romance in my life, or I don't have a significant other. I don't have somebody that really cares about me one-on-one. And you start to put all this negative emotion on this invisible someone who hasn't shown up in your life. But remember, what are you telling the universe? You're shouting it out to the universe. You're putting all this attention, energy, and focus out to the universe that you want to be alone, that you want to feel lonely, that you want to feel like nobody cares, that you want to be in lack. And so this is what you're manifesting. This is what you're creating. This is what you're drawing to you. So if you want something to change, you must change your energy. And in order to change your energy, you will want to learn what it is that you're thinking. Pay attention. So if the goal, and I'm not big on using that word goal, because goal implies that when you get to something, you're done. And that's not what life is about. There is no truer saying than life is a journey, not a destination. Because if you've watched any of these other shows, if you follow my work, life is about expanding, continuously expanding. And when we expand and we feel love, joy, happiness, abundance, and we love our life and we party like purple every day, and we're so happy and jumping around and like, whoa, life is fabulous. This is the expansion. But then something will come along and you'll start to doubt, and you'll start to say, oh, see, I knew this was too good to be true. And then what happens with this expansion? You go down, you bring it in, you contract. And remember, any contraction is simply contrast. It's simply letting you know, if you drew this into your life, there is an opposite for everything. So what you want is there, what you want is available. What are you going to do to bring it to you? And yes, it's work. You have to do the work. But consider this. You've been doing the work, whether you understand this work or not. You've been doing the work to bring the negative to you. So are you willing to do the work to bring the positive to you? Maybe you could start thinking about, well, what have I actually been saying to myself, and probably to others, about that significant other, that romance that you want in your life? Because I'm assuming, for the sake of this conversation, that when you want romance, you're wanting another person in your life to make that happen. But again, get very clear on what romance means to you. Does it mean that you're going to have someone to sit with every night and, I don't know, whatever your evening ritual is, and you have this person to sit side by side and commiserate or enjoy your evening or whatever that looks like? Is it that you want someone to wake up to every morning and start your day with this other person? What does romance mean to you? Now, here's something, and this is a big aha. So if you get nothing else from this message, this is a big aha. Okay, so pay attention to what you say you really want. If you're looking for romance, if you're looking for love in your life, but you tend to be in that negative genre, that negative experience, like, oh, this is never going to happen. No one's ever going to come into my life. I'm just going to be sad and lonely my whole life. If you're in that negative mindset, that negative vibration, that negative energy, if all your attention, energy, and focus is on that negativity of what romance is and lack of, because you think there's lack right there, lack of romance, lack of love. Here's where I say, this is how to stop looking for love in all the wrong places. So are you ready? Okay. So if you're in that mindset of negativity and you do find Mr. or Mrs. Right, that you believe, oh, this is it. This is the person I've been waiting for. This is amazing. Consider this. You have attracted that person from that energy of negativity. So what seems to be right in the moment, and remember, there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad, but what you see as perfect, I drew the exact perfect person in my life right now. I want you to consider what mindset, what energy, what vibration are you attracting that person from? See, that's why this life is, it's an inside job. For everything, it's an inside job. And when you really understand this, when you really understand that everything that you are experiencing is something that you are creating based on what you're feeling, vibrating, think about that. Do you realize the power that you have? That you have so much power. This is an energetic universe. We attract like to like. So if you're feeling negative, you're going to attract negative. If you're feeling positive, you're going to attract positive. So if your understanding of romance is, remember, this is where you want to get very clear on what does that mean to you? Does it mean that someone's going to, you know, I don't know, carry you away and take care of you and save you? And here's the thing, you are attracting that person from that vibration of lack. So that doesn't mean that this can't be an enjoyable relationship. But what it does mean is that you are vibrating at that level of lack. So chances are there's going to be something within the relationship that the two of you will need to work on. But then what happens, this is what happens often, is that one person realizes, oh, this is an inside job. This is inner work that needs to be done. And one person is willing to do the inner work, but the other person thinks inner work is a bunch of hooey, and vibration, the universe, whatever is all a bunch of hooey. And so now you have this perfect person that you attracted into your life, but now you're like, well, wait a minute, shouldn't we be growing together? Shouldn't we be expanding together? And then you feel like, okay, if I could just get this person to understand, if I could just get this person to change, if I could just get, do you see, then it becomes about making someone else change, doing everything in your power to make someone else change. But we don't have power over another person. The only person we have power over is ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves. So if you're in a relationship and you feel like it's lacking somewhere, like where's the love, where's the romance? If this person would only X, Y, or Z, everything would be great. You see, but what you're doing is you're saying this person has to make a change before I can be happy. So do you see how you're giving your power away? And it all goes back to something that you learned or intuited from childhood. Now remember, I'll say this for the umpteenth time, this is not to blame your parents or your caregivers or whoever raised you. If you are an adult and you are still blaming your parents for where you are today, there is an opportunity for some inner work for you to do. Wouldn't it be fabulous to learn how to let that go? You know, it's interesting because when I ask that question to potential clients, it's interesting because they just don't see how it could be possible. They're so used to blaming someone for where they are that they can't get it out of their story. You know, they can't go beyond that story of my life is X because my parents did YZ. So if you are still blaming someone for where you are giving your power to that person. And if you say that you really want autonomy, you really want romance, you want love, you want joy, happiness, prosperity, and abundance in your life, it starts from within. Because if you can't give that to yourself, you are not going to be able to find another person to give it to you, because you really won't be able to accept it because you don't know what it feels like. It feels foreign to you, right? You know, it goes along with whatever someone says to us. How do we take it in? Do we believe it to be true? If so, why? Do we believe it not to be true? If so, why not? Again, it's all about what we're thinking. Are we looking for someone to be a certain way because we need that person to say, do, or be a specific way so that we feel confident or are getting from them what we need? We're putting so much expectation on another person. Think about the times where people, I don't know, they dress their best, they look their best, they go out on a date and they want to look their best. And yet they won't look their best and do that for themselves. They won't get up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to dress up just for myself, because it feels so fabulous to get up and just love what I see in the mirror. They will wait until they have someone to dress up for. But if you started giving love to yourself before you expect it to come from someone else, you see, that's when we start realizing that we can't give love away. And the love we do give, or we can't get love from someone else if we're not willing to give it to ourselves. So the love we give to others should always be secondhand, because we should give it to ourselves first. So now let's think about romance. What does that mean to you? Well, when I got divorced after 32 years of marriage, I got married when I was 17. When I got divorced, of course, I do this work. I have clients. I'm like, this is how you do X, Y, and Z. So I became my own client, right? Of course, I created my want, don't want list. What do I want in a partner? Now this is gold, more gold for this, all right? So here's the thing. We don't know what we don't know, right? So my list was all about, okay, here's all the things I don't want. And it was basically all of the things that I felt were really challenging about my first husband. All the things that I wished had happened, but didn't happen. Okay, these are all the things I don't want. So of course, on my want side, it was like, I want. And I absolutely attracted that person into my life. I just couldn't believe it. I attracted someone who surprised me on my birthday and took me away for the weekend, who would make dinner reservations, who would bring me flowers, who was so thoughtful. And I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, like, this really happens? This is so amazing. Because I did not have that for the 32 years when I was with my husband. But here's the thing, that as the relationship grew, as it moved forward, I also realized, oh, all of these things I said I wanted, maybe I want to be a little more clear with the universe, because I want them, but I want them from a person who's also willing to give it to himself. Whoa, huge epiphany, huge. But of course, what often happens like this, then we're in that relationship and we think, oh, we can't give up what we have because we'll never find this good again. And even though this has some challenges, all in all, it's pretty good. So maybe I should just hold on to this. Now, this isn't about letting go of every relationship. This is about knowing that whatever you think is not working, it's an inside job. Whatever you're looking for, you must be willing to give it to yourself before you can expect anyone else to give it to you. Does this make sense? If you want to know more about this kind of work, I invite you to visit me at masteringyourbeliefs.com. Get your free download, sign up for my newsletter, take the e-course, whatever calls to you. But you deserve to have the people in your life, the relationships in your life that are reciprocal. You deserve to have love, joy, romance, happiness, abundance, prosperity. You deserve all of that and so much more. And if you're feeling like, well, maybe I believe that that's possible, great. Take that where you are right now and expand. Just keep expanding. Keep looking for what it is that you say that you want. And a great place to start, remember, is with that mind mapping. So if you want more romance in your life and you're tired of looking for love in all the wrong places, get very clear on what romance means to you. And then you can start attracting the kind of people and experiences that you want into your life that will be reciprocal, that you will know you attracted this person because you were willing to do the work and give it to yourself first. If you have any questions on any of this, please let me know. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.